Alright, we all set? Microphone looks good. Background music looks good. I am floating out of my chair yet again. Unless I go over here. Yep, we're all good. Okay. Wow. It is the 30th of September, 2024. This month fucking deleted me out of existence. But it's okay. Next month is October. It's spooky month. One of the best months of the year. So, and what better way to get ready than to just chill out and let September die quietly. Quietly as it came in. I mean, there's been some big news. At the time of recording, we did get the official announcement that the Rules Committee is going to be taken up by Wizards of the Coast. I have some thoughts about that, but nothing I'm going to voice like right away. But we're here for Brawl. We are here for Brawl, and it's a Monday, and we're going to play some Monday Magic. And also, I'm scoot over. I'm going to keep doing over. I'm going to scoot over. Anyway, so the plan for the day. Originally, today's plan was going to be to showcase something that I've been working on, but this past week, rather than like get fully excited for Dustmore, I've just been updating some smaller decks. So that's kind of what we're going to continue doing today. Today we're just going to play around with some of the new cards that came out. We're going to revisit some old decks, maybe change like a couple of cards, play some games, move on. And then hopefully next week, I will have a deck I feel is worthy of a showcase. In fact, I can even go over some of the stuff that I've been tinkering with for the past week. Pulling up the Sultai commanders right now because one of the things I want to do eventually is a Manifest Dread deck. I think Brokos could be a fun commander for that because Brokos mutates from the graveyard and becomes a 6/6 trample. If you can get like a Cloak card out, one of the disguises with Ward 2, then you've got a 6/6 trample with Ward 2? That seems okay. I think that some of the Manifest Dread cards are also just cool in terms of trying to get the additional value. So, for example, one of the decks that we're currently working on is the Derevi deck. Yeah, in the box. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, one of the decks that we're currently working on is the Derevi deck. And I think some of the Survivor cards are good with this. You can play the Defiant Survivor and Manifest Dread every turn. I kind of forgot that Manifest Dread lets you look at the top two cards and then throw one away. So that got me interested in building a Reanimator version. Like, I've got this Atrada deck that I started. And I was like, oh, and Atrada can cloak additional cards. I didn't read Atrada correctly. She cloaks stuff off of the opponent's deck. So after playing some games with her, I think she's really cool. But the deck but she doesn't quite do what I want. But she's also kind of inspired me to start tinkering with this deck and make it kind of like a control deck where she as a Saboteur can just kind of snowball creatures into play. So that could be really cool. I would get to play Psychic Frog. I think Psychic Frog is amazing, even as a singleton, because you can just discard cards and then reanimate them. You can go turn 2 Frog, turn 3 Victimize, bring back just Jin-Gitaxias and Sholdred. I think that's really cool. I have a deck that's built more around something like that with Satoru Umezawa, but I wasn't really javing with that deck as well. I've also seen Kaito be a really, really good blue-black Reanimator commander because he just gives you a free loot outlet within the commander itself, and because he doesn't get hit by the kill spells as often as creatures do. Although I've certainly seen other blue-black Reanimator decks, so something for me to tinker with, and definitely going to be a showcase deck at some point this season, I think. Like, this is probably some of the more fun deck building that I've had in blue-black. Although then it's going in complete contrast to like Tasha Control, the Rats deck. I think I had the where'd the Fairy deck go? Oh, zombies are right there. But I still want Prize Amalgam for the zombie deck. The Fairy Control deck, which is basically just blue-black Malcolm. So like, this is something we could borrow some framework from. Other decks that I've been working on, I've been retooling a Layla. I think a Layla benefits very well from Dustmorn because you get the additional room enchantments. I think that having additional enchantment creatures is pretty good. The Enduring Curiosity. Basically having a Coastal Piracy, but has Flash attached to it. And then it has Undying, basically, so for when they disenchanted or whatever. I think that's really cool. Unidentified Hover Ship is another really good one. This is a a Skyclave Apparition. Yeah, Skyclave Apparition, except it's a vehicle. I think that's pretty good. So Alayla's getting a bit of an update today. Let's see. I have not yet updated Atraxa, but I think Atraxa is another deck that really benefits from having the additional card types. Because Dustmorn is really built around Delirium, they've included more artifact creatures, more enchantment creatures, and that's really exciting. I'd like to be able to build an Abzan Enchantress deck at some point and kind of have fun putting some curses together. I think that'd be pretty cool. If you look at Abzan commanders, though, it's like, which one would you use for that? Necker Bloom doesn't really support enchantments. Neither does Thalion, the Get Rid of monster, though you could honestly just play them as a solid taxing commander. Nethroid doesn't really help, although I guess Nethroid has reanimation that you could do to get back some of those enchantment creatures. Maybe trigger like Constellation, get back all your enchantresses. That might be the best option here. Anafenza doesn't really do a whole lot, neither does Kethis. And we don't have any of the commander deck Enchantress cards that came out with Abzan. I want to say it was, oh gosh. It wasn't it was the first one with the Eldrazi rather than the second one. It came out with Modern Horizons, like the ones before that. So we did miss out on those. Marina Vendrell did come out, but she's really more for doors. You could play her, but then we have the 5-color Go Shintai. Another option would be to go ahead and play Go Shintai and then only play Abzan, but at that point it's like, why even bother? Just don't like playing 5-color commanders and then only using like so many of them. I think that's perfectly reasonable, but I don't like doing it personally. And then messing around with Derevi made me want to go and check out a deck that I'd had my eye on for a while. And that's actually Amy the Amazonian's anti-flash vehicle deck. This was a card that I was looking at and was like, okay, yeah, this is a deck that's meant to, you know, reward you for playing the mounds and playing the vehicles and stuff like that. The downside, though, was I was still lacking a good half of the really good vehicles that you want to use in order to make the deck go. I've played budget versions of the decks. I've played Greasefane, the like, and they work fine. I was slowly building up, getting all the other mechs, but seeing the survivors in the deck reward you for being tapped made me go, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and just drop a bunch of wild cards into catching up on vehicles. Vehicles are really strange. They're kind of niche in the sense that they don't go in a lot of decks. But the vehicle decks that you want to build, they really benefit from getting just the good vehicles. The bad vehicles are really bad versus the good vehicles that are really good. Like, the dichotomy there is just really strong. It makes it hard to build it on a budget. Especially when you look at things like the console flagship, Sky Hacker mech. But this seemed like a good opportunity to go ahead, take Amy's list, and then modify it for what my collection had and some of my personal preferences. We can go ahead and run like the Dazzling Theater to give creature spells convoke. It did give me incentive to go ahead and get Buxton, and Buxton is actually kind of nutty once you get him out on the board. And I think the anti-flash deck is actually it's a surprising amount of fun. It still needs a lot of tuning. It still needs a lot of adjustments in terms of like what I want to do personally. But having a deck where I get to not only play the vehicles, but I get to play cards like Tiana, like Amara, like the Sapphic Unicorn. It's a very unique deck, and not one that I've gotten to see all that match. So like, hey, you know what? Not bad. There was like also just some generically good stuff in here, like Tajik is just kind of like generically good. There was an Aurelia in here that I ended up taking out, just to try and like make more synergy without trying to make it good, or like trying to go get more synergy while keeping it good, because that is a bad habit of mine of taking out like really good win cons to try and find more synergy and then just making the deck more dirtly. So lessons for this season. Primarily the things that I have also been working on between today and the last time we streamed Magic was working on more of the budget builds. So for example, and I did bring this up in my Brewers log last time, I do have the Nadu deck finished. I need to make some updates to go with Dustmorn, to go with some of the additional tech that I've gotten. I do have budget decks for Puck and for Malcolm. I want to try and play those a little bit more before I give them showcases, just because I'm not really feeling up to having a basically because of how slumpy I'm feeling today, and because I've been just more focused on working on all these other decks. We're going to be seeing these a little bit later, so I can have like a dedicated thumbnail, so I can have some dedicated lead up time. You know how it is. And yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. We're just going to be messing around with some of these decks, maybe even messing around with the Atrada deck a little bit. And we're just going to be hanging out, tuning some stuff. And then next week should be a showcase week. So, with that being said, did I put in... Let's see, Besiege, Languish. I have not updated my zombie deck, so let's do that real quick. Like, Damnation is an easy include. Let's see. So what else is fun in here? Vaga's Faithful is going to be really cool. I like this a lot in terms of like just having another way to recur creatures. I think this goes in the Bearless Bear deck. Another way to just be able to get back Luris, but have a way to like get back Luris with a way to for Luris to get back the thing that got her back. Let's see. This is Eerie. One loses a life. Let's see. The easy thing the theme decks are the easiest to update. Unstoppable Slasher. Unstoppable Slasher is really cool. I don't know that we actually have the ability to play this in this deck, because I like our 3-drops to be Lords and just Zombies synergy. Yeah, I don't really think we're gonna end up playing the Slasher, but like the Slasher is a good card. Oh right, there's a room that goes with Bastion of Remembrance, and I remember liking that. Stick Twister is one of those artifact creatures I was talking about earlier. Sprite Conviction enters target player sacks a creature other than enchanted creature. When enchanted creature is dealt damage, destroy it. Ooh, I actually kind of like that. Does that potentially replace like any of our other? Maybe. I wish Arena would fix the issue with trying to add a card to a specific column, and then it just adds it to the mana value instead. That is on my current wish list. Comeback Rock. This is a good card. It's a 3-mana murder, but then you get the card for a turn. And it's only at sorcery speed, but it's only 1 pip. Let's see. Look at the top 4. 1 in the hand, the rest in the graveyard. You gain 3 life. That's not bad. Killer's Mask. There's actual factual murder. Popular egoist, cultist. There's the slasher. There's Withering Torment. Withering Torment, I think, is a good utility card to add in. It's one of the very few ways we have to interact with enchantments. Tenacity, whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that life, so we don't care about it. Let's see. There's the Saw reference. Leyline of the Void. That's always classic. Defiled Crypt. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, you make a 2/2 Horror, but it only triggers once each turn. And then it has a 1-mana side that says return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. That has some interesting synergy. But I don't really like the once per turn clause on this. I think if you're playing something like a slower value engine, it could be okay. If you want to go maybe with like a black-green Rustine deck or something like that. But those types of cards just tend to be too slow to set up in Brawl. Let's see, there's Grievous Wounds. No, I can't believe this isn't a curse. Why isn't this a curse? Die. Doomsday Excruciator, Miasma Demon. Draw. Derelict Attic. It's a draw 2, lose 2. And then there's a 4-mana unlock. Whenever a creature attacks alone, gets 1/0, gains death. You don't really want to be commander attacking with zombies. Why do my headphones? What? Unholy Annex. Give your end step, draw a card, lose 2 life, unless you have the demon. This is interesting. I feel like this almost replaces Palantar, but Palantar is a stronger, an actual win condition. This is cool because you get the demon later on, but you also get the draw step. Also draw as opposed to like just straight up milling and then losing life. But I think this goes in a lot of the mono black control decks. Funeral Room. There we go. Oh my god, this was a mythic. Yeah, Funeral Room. Drain 1 whenever a creature we control dies. And when we unlock Awakening Hall for 8 mana, we get all our creatures back from the graveyard to the battlefield. I think that's probably slam dunk this deck. Even, like, we can, at worst, we can swap it out with Bash of Remembrance. Remembrance does have the upside of making a token for us when it comes into play. And yeah, there's the lair. It's an enchantment land. Okay, so like, there's not a whole lot we have to actually worry about here. There's like 5 swaps. Don't want to lose Meat Hook Massacre. We could run the new Meat Hook 2, the sequel. Let's see. I'm willing to cut seasonal loss for Damnation. I gotta remember that Dam is its own card now. There's Beseech. Swapping out Seasonal Loss for Dam, awesome. That we get another card that Beseech can grab, so that's good. I just put in Dark Realm, so I'm gonna be cutting it out. Flare of Malice, Grief. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have room for the Slasher. I'd rather find room for these cards first. Raider, Scorpion, Shatter. Raider. I put in the Buried Alive to help get specific targets for Untouched by Death. But I have no problem whatsoever with swapping that for Funeral Room. With this deck specifically, I am hesitant to take out any of the 1-drops. Because you just want to get like a pile of synergy together. You just want to get a bunch of dead bozos on the field. That versus 6 3-drop. Yeah, it's easy to say that like these are auto includes until you actually have to figure out what you take out for them. We can always come back and make the change later. Playing a little bit of the Malcolm deck. I don't think there were any particularly spicy cards for Feather. You can always take a look. Valgavoth, Terror Eater. Well, Amy did put out a video for him, and he's pretty strong. This 9 mana though. That's a lot. So there's probably going to be an absolute massive ton of artifact ramp, which means we're going to need to just like go and push. Card you didn't control will be put into opponent's graveyard from anywhere. Exile it during your turn. You can play cards. Exile with Valgavoth. Cast a spell this way. Pay life equal to its mana value. So if we manage to like rush him down, they're not going to be able to play all that many spells. Even if most of their spells are cheaper to begin. Go Cat, Dead, Banner, Lily. And if they thought sees us, like what? They take the Languish, maybe? They might take out the Redland instead. They could also just be sizing up whether they think they want to face down a Zombie Rush deck. Alright, so Trent Malk is down. They might also just be playing really heavy control. The Shambling Gas can be a problem. If they victimize it, they can kill the Dreadmalkin. This will at least give us a way to play Lily on turn 4 while still playing a land that comes into play tapped. That's good. Just kind of going to be a race here. Lots of artifact, lots of removal because a flying lifelink with ward sack 3 non-land permanents is a really strong win condition on its own. I don't have him. I don't have him in my collection yet. I'd rather not have to spend the Mythic Wildcard to get him from a standard set. Ooh, okay. Virus Beetle. I guess I'm willing to drop... I'm going to drop the Pachuca buff. That might not be correct. If we play the banner, that only increases power, right? So, play the land, attack. If they double block the dead, and that does let him kill the Malkin. But then I can get the dead back, and then also get the Malkin back. And it just costs me the tempo of playing the banner. Zir Scorpion is pretty. But I still want to play the banner this turn. I guess I could have played the banner and then still been able to get back the dead. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll let them trade. And they're gonna wipe the Malkin. How important is it? It goes back to my hand if I pay the black. I can replay it. Honestly, I'll just play the banner. So we can play Lily next turn, and then they have to have a Hero's Downfall effect to get rid of her. Shoulder's Edict also works. That was very effective at slowing us down, though. Play Lily. Minus Lily. Oh, no, there's a Paleontar. Speaking of... we are going to try and just lose the life here. Out. Losing the 7 sucked, but... what can... Alright. We'll lose the 3 this time. Next turn, we can go ahead and recast from Graveyard. We got the Grim Physician, too. Burglar Rat. Everyone discard. You know what? I'll drop the Language. And then I can potentially... if I can get the Grave Pack down... yeah, if I get Grave Pack down, then... I don't think we ever have to worry about Valgoth. So rather than leaving it in my hand to potentially get stuck to an 8-rack effect like a Thoughtseize or a Duress, I'm just going to slam it next turn, and then we'll just cast a bunch of stuff off Lily. Because then what? The rat attacks her, they trade. I'm getting some life to mitigate the Alientar. We're going to be playing this close to the chest, basically. Alright, end of turn. What do you got? Like a Phyrexian Gate? Phyrexian Gate would actually be good. Ooh, okay. Yep. There goes Phyrexian Arena.
I value moral flexibility.
Hey! Alright, there's the great fact. Now Lily is set to go ahead and just reload us next turn. We have Lily. Hi, Lily. We got what, 4 mana, so we can get back the Mogrant. Get back Relentless Dead. Definitely the Dread Malkin and the Grim Physician are pretty good. Never mind, Murderous Rider. Alright, we're doing this the hard way. Got 3 cards left. They can still play the Rider. The opponent seems to be really in the tank, so I wonder if they're just having like a really bad connection. Let's see, we're going to be 2 lands away from Lily. Having the Transmogrant in the graveyard means that we're going to have something to do after we play both Vizier and Dungeon Crawler. And then just having the Grave Pact out is going to make all of their 1-for-1 removals significantly worse. Ideally, we just rip 2 lands off the top, so that way we can get Lily down on turn 6 on the next couple of turns. Medallion would also be really good. Actually, Medallion might even be better. If I could find our own Phyrexian Arena, that would be best, I think. Now, notably, we were running the Paliantar of Ornthok in our deck as well, but I ended up taking that out. 1, because it just felt like it was way too slow for how aggressive we wanted to play. 2, the damage that the opponent was taking off of the orb just was not significant enough. Let's see. The opponent is either they either have like a really bad connection or they're just slow rolling us. Alright, so 2 on top. Yep, we'll just lose life off there. Ow. That hurts. Always the Crawler. Go ahead, get some blockers out. Unfortunately, we are in a position where they are going to get to start drawing cards, but I will gladly let them take the Obliterator out. The rat attacks. We trade the rat with a token. Murderous Rider is a little bit of a problem, but we'll be okay. If we can hit Lily next turn, that's great. They will get to start just cards. They are really. So that has to be like a connection thing. Although, like, they're playing Rider, so I just. Yep, you get to start drawing your card now. Alright, ooh, Beseech the Mirror. That's pretty spicy. So if we go ahead and we Beseech, we can sacrifice... Actually, hold on. Go combat. And... go ahead, attack with the Crawler. Crawler trades with the Rat. But then the Crawler's dead, the Rat's dead. Murderous Rider... Okay. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and bargain. So now they sacrifice their rat. And now we get... Funeral Room is pretty good. I like playing Grief here. Let's see. There is Call the Ring for trying to draw some additional cards. Kind of really like playing Grief here. Although the Funeral Room might just be better in terms of, like, maintaining life. Let's go ahead and get a Grief. See exactly what they're trying to cook with. Duress, Shouldred, and Ghost Form. Yeah, let's get rid of Dreadhorde General. Getting the Funeral Home would have been really good, but now we know that each opponent sacks a non-token creature. The Duress doesn't do anything. Okay. Yep, they're gonna keep ramping up. That's 5. You can draw a card. Oh, that's Midnight Reaper. Now it's just, like, completely unprofitable for them. I'm at 9 life, so I do want to be careful. This is what? A2 sack? Alright, so we're always swinging with Grief, and swing with the Crawler too. Alright, that's half their life. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have enough if they have a land. Yep, that's Shouldred. Shouldred, let's go ahead and sack the Crawler. So they sacrifice Rider. Well, that's a Soul Shatter, which they can Thoughtseize away now. Kaya's Ghost Form, that's interesting. I don't think that does what they want it to do. They're definitely... And now that the tower is the only way they can make mana, that Thoughtseize is looking really hedgy. Because what I can do now is I can Soul Shatter, get rid of the Shouldred. They kill one of my things. I still profit. Like, we're both at really low life totals. Yeah, because if Shouldred gets popped for Phyrexian Tower, even though I lose the Soul Shatter, then... Oh no, they've got 3. Ah, that works. Yeah, Elder Fane works. Now they get to just draw a card. And the Valgoth coming down. Opponent can draw a card. Damnation. What in Damnation? Just... And then we hold the Damnation for dealing with Vargoth. Yep. Yep. They go down to 3. A bunch of things are going to trigger, so we're going to reload on hands. Blood in the Snow, that's pretty good. I could bring back the Transmogrant, so that way I don't lose Grief. That's pretty cool. I think I'm up for that. Alright, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can still duress me now that I have, like, actual cards in my hand. And, like, that gets rid of Damnation. It gets rid of the Blood on the Snow. Funeral Room probably pulls me back in. But no, they just fell behind. It was worth taking out all those cards. Like, damn. GG. see. Oh god, I have lots of dailies that I want to clear out. Let's take a look at updating Feather real quick. What came out in Dustmorn? All right. So first things first, we get to look at the 1 minute. So there's jump scare. Target creature gets +2/+2, gains flying because of horror. That's not bad. Repeatable jump. Okay. Unwanted remake. Destroy target creature. Its controller manifest dread. That's kind of like a Path to Exile. Squint. Turn inside out. Target creature gets 3/0 until end of turn. When it dies this turn, manifest dread. That's actually really cool. Because it's kind of like the lifelink one that gives us a spirit. Violent Urge. Gets 1/0 in first strike. If there are 4 more card types, that creature gains double strike. I feel like we have a card that we could actually replace that with. So outside of like jump scare. Actually, hold on. We can still look at the one. Too. Trial of Agony. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by the same opponent. No, we can't play that. And we'll take a look at the other creatures first, but this is just a really easy 1-to-1 swap. Pull the creature there. Alright, so we've got Violent Urge, Turn Inside Out, and Unwanted Remake. Blessed Defiance. I like this one a little better, I think, because it does give lifelink. That's a lot more relevant. Manifesting Dread isn't bad. Let's see. Path to Exile. Is there a world where at some point I stop playing land text and Feather? Maybe. Land tax is nice because it does just help us continue making land drops into a late game. Like, Feather's not a late game deck, but just having the ability to continue making the land drops is sometimes incredibly necessary. I think they only released the allied pair Cloud Post land, not the Cloud Post. What they're called. But yeah, I think they only released the allied cycle right now, so we don't have to worry too much about that. What do we have here? What's our first strike card? There's Lunar Frenzy, which also gives trample and scales. Titan Strength. 3/1, and it's a scry 1. Strike It Rich. Shove Aside. Sprint, which is a 2/1 with haste. Reckless Rage. Reckless Charge. Monstrous Rage. Got absolutely bullied by this card playing Pioneer. Pioneer? Explorer. More or less the same thing. Let's see. Flameless Bolt, Cinder Cone Smite, etc. Yeah, I don't think we're currently playing with a base first strike. We do have some. We're gonna have the lands. We have some artifacts. Instant sorcery, go to graveyard. Violent Urge could work. Not enough on its own. Neither is Turn Inside Out. There isn't really anything that I want to pull out. We have our protection. We have our draws. Safe Absence gets rid of Planeswalkers. Get Lost gets rid of Planeswalkers and enchantments. Invasion good. Upgrade good. Temur Battle Rage just gives double strike, and then if we have Ferocious, gives the trample. This card kills with Slick Shot, Rip, Signet, Boots. I don't think we're wanting for Unwanted Remake is probably the closest thing we have in here, but I want to see how we're currently in the meta. Didn't mind. Let's see, this is Eerie. Put a counter on a target creature. That's a possessed goat. Are there any cool creatures that we want? Hey, like I said, theme decks are just the easiest to upgrade because you know exactly what kind of cards you're looking for. This is a survivor. We're not really looking for survivors. We're looking for like spell synergies. I can surveil 1 orphans. The role model could be cool in like the counters deck. I like that a bunch of the artifact creatures are either scarecrows or toys. I think that's a lot of fun. It also means that we could play cards like Split Skin Doll and the Doggo and decks like a Layla. That's pretty cool. Split Skin Doll also works in stuff like Lagrella. Enduring Innocence. I think Enduring Innocence would probably be a card that we could include, but I also don't have it yet. Patch Plaything. There's Toby. Once we get into like high drops, we just everything that we want. Percussionist dies. Exile top card. You can play until the end of your next turn, so that gets bottled. There's Norn. Fear of missing out. The Hand that feeds. There's a Gremlin. There's a Piggy Bank. Razorcane Needlehead is really interesting. I think I like this in the red-white Taxes deck that we were looking at building. The Punisher Taxes deck. Screaming Nemesis is also quite good for that. I don't think... Yeah, this just isn't a deck that has a lot to offer Feather. That being said, there's always Alchemy. And if we play Feather for a little bit, we'll knock out some dailies too. Clothis might be one of the better ones to play today, just because it is going to have the Pyroclasm now. It also put Fury in there, so that's that. Swords, Flare, Blessed Defiance, and Mishra's Command. We're up against Roxanne, Starfall Savant. So this is going to be a ramp deck. Swords dealing with Roxanne is nice. We also have Blessed Defiance. Flare is not bad. I would like to have a little more interaction. This works. We've got 2 pieces of interaction plus Giver to start with. So I think what I'm going to do is always grabs a mount. Now I am the starting player, so Smite does not do anything. Rather than playing out the Giver turn 1, I'm going to go ahead and use this to grab a Surveil Lance so we can... Ooh, untap. Yeah, we're going to grab a Surveil Lance so we can try and dig for that 3rd land. Clever Luminancer is not what we need, fortunately. There's Heath. I am going to go ahead and grab a... Oh god, it's worth shocking myself. It didn't start with a turn 1 Dork. But I'm going to go ahead and grab a Planeshear. There's Signet. And then I'm going to play the Giver of Runes. They probably Bolter. Yep. There it is. There's the Shove Aside. So she's gone. Okay. Hopefully we draw one more land. No. Okay. I don't want to play Feather Naked. So here's the Arcanist. Pass. This is a sorcery. Oh, this is a really slow Roxanne start. Okay. How do we want to do this then? This is what? 2 damage to target creature. These are our instants. Unfortunately, I don't have any... you know what? I think it's worth. Lunar Frenzy. No, we need... I'm going to actually, you know what? I'm going to do it. Strike It Rich. It's kind of like a land if you look at it sideways, but... it's just not what we're going to want right now. I could also Blessed Defiance, try and get some more value there. But I think just getting the 2 cards out of the way is good enough for now. Like, because they're playing red-green, it's not likely that they're going to have something that'll just be able to out-and-out kill Feather. but there are plenty of those. Parallel lines for double tokens? Okay, that's gonna be ripped next turn. Yeah. Go ahead, short target enchantment. We don't have... Ass. Yep, and then here comes Roxanne. I don't know why I went and just did that. For some reason, I thought I had something to play into the hoplite. Well, I can play Feather now. There's that. How do I want to do this? Roxanne attacks. If they have any sort of doubler, that's dead. Alright. We'll see that they take the trade. Alright. So we gain a little bit of life, we get an extra token. If we manage to get lucky and draw into another land, next turn we can play Feather, but we are running pretty light right this second. Cindercone's Might isn't going to help us a lot. We've already burned through quite a few creatures trying to dig for something. Plus side, if they decide to kill Feather, probably with like a Kogla. Oh, hey, a Shia. Okay. So, target attacking creature. We're going to path the Ashaya as soon as they crack their card. Like, as soon as they crack this land, that's when we path it. This taps for any one color. Alright, we're going to Dreadmaw, try and get rid of that. Okay, go ahead, path Ashaya. Great. Ashaya's gone. Ashaya is kind of spooky. Although I guess pathing my own spirit would have been pretty pog. This is... Yep, so they do have the lands. Deal with this now. I guess I could have Blessed Defiance there. Getting the extra points of damage. Hopefully that doesn't matter too much. It's a target attacking creature, so like there was no reason for me not to. Whoops. Mobby. This is just target creature, right? Yeah. So when they go to shoot their Feather or the Spirit. That's Delina. Delina's a 3/2. Do they have a way to give her haste? They definitely don't have another target creature to copy just yet. Asika's Chariot makes a couple of cats. Okay. They make cats. The Dreadmaw does deal with that. Here's Clifftop Retreat. Here is Smite. Go combat? Okay, we got there. Just do some quick math real quick. This is currently 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, this would have cost me the game if they had any sort of like strong follow-up, so... whoopsie there. Didn't matter because we ended up winning anyway. But, you know, just a brain fart that could have cost us. Was that enough to get some daily clears? It was. Alright, so this is what? Blue and white, and this is red or green. We can go ahead and take a look at the Colossus deck then. I've been thinking about, like, what sort of green cards I would want to put into Colossus lately. Like, the idea is that this is just a red burn deck. It is control, and then Colossus is the win condition here, so like there's plenty of Chandras. I put in the Fury because sometimes you just want to evoke Fury to do a large board wipe. Especially if you happen to get any of the mechanized warfares out. That's pretty cool. Pyroclasm is probably like the biggest thing that we got from Duskmourn. I think a lot of red decks are going to want to run Pyroclasm to help deal with the go wide aggro strategies, especially with Annabelle out, especially with an Imperkel being a top tier red commander. In terms of like instants and sorceries, there isn't a lot out. We want to be relatively creatureless. Let's see. This is what, 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. I think we already have that. Like, we have that effect. This is 5 mana for 6 damage to a creature. And then we need Delirium in order to actually hit the bottle. Waltz of Rage. Target creature you control. Just already passed that up. There's the Clobbering. There's Parting. Horde Vigor. Yeah, we're not really messing around too much with a lot of the green stuff. Even things like Tamio's Safekeeping, which we could probably use to just make sure that Clothis has protection. Honestly, it feels like it's just potentially going to be a dead card in some matchups, so it's better to just play more burn. Play more burn, kill more creatures, farm more daily points. Say its name is actually just, let's see, unplayable in Brawl? No, I wouldn't say that. It's mill 3, you get a creature or land from your graveyard to your hand. So, like, it's any land or graveyard, so, like, that's already playable. There is some cool stuff that you could do with Conjure, though, to make this playable if you really want to, but the payoff is a creature that isn't really worth playing. Break down the door could be interesting. Because it's 3 mana, exile an artifact or enchantment, something that our deck is currently not as equipped to deal with. Onslaught, Manifest Dread X amount of times. That's a potential win condition. I think that's one of the things I would like to keep in mind, is potentially setting up some more win conditions besides just Chandra. Like, this is a control deck. This is a grind out deck with the win condition being Clothis. So having an additional win condition if Clothis is having trouble getting going for whatever reason, that really only happens if we're up against a say a control deck that is running things like Vinasunder. We'll just go ahead, play some more Clothis, knock out some stuff, maybe play a little bit of Rift. God awful hand. With this deck specifically, you want to make sure you have your 3 land drops. This is not as bad because Volcanic Spike means we actually have a way to cycle out the Light of the Night or the March. We can go ahead, go turn 1, Stomping Ground, shoot the Goose. Having Storm's Wrath is pretty cool. Especially with a Lagrella deck. The Lagrella decks tend to be very value-oriented. So this is a matchup where we potentially struggle if they get any of their value engines online. They are very likely... just straight up Manifest Dread. Okay, so they're doing the thing that I thought would be pretty cool to do. So depending on what they hit there, they're going to play Lagrella, they're going to exile it and just get a free thing when she blinks out. So using Manifest Dread as a way to... Ooh, okay. Because I want to guarantee the land as much as possible, I am going to go ahead and Volcanic Smite it. Volcanic Spite it. Cloud Shift. And it's Thassa. That's really bad for us. Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll march. We'll exile Light Up and... Actually, hold on. Let's go ahead. We can do this for 3. It's... Oh, and we get 3 spells, which normally I'm fine with. Hitting a Thassa off the top, though, that's pretty good. Now, remember, they do get a 2-card selection with Thassa's Dread. The card that they sent to the graveyard was a land. But yeah, this is kind of the deck that I was thinking would be really cool to build. Turns out it is. And they hit... Oh my god! They've hit fucking Elishnorn? Okay, yeah, I'm done. Like, damn, okay. Bro built the exact deck I thought would be cool to build, and like, hey, you know what? It was exactly what it was. It is what I thought it was. So, nice to know that deck has legs. Notably, Elishnorn herself was not going to be doing a whole lot, but the fact that she anthems their entire board means that a lot of our basically all of our removal just gets infinitely worse. This is great. We'll keep this. Nahiri the Harbinger. Alright. Lead off on Arid Mesa. We'll have Den of the Bugbear next turn, followed by Basic Mountain. Alright, so they're gonna go Tome. Let's go Surveil Land. Cryptic Caves, I'll leave that on top because, I mean, hitting the additional land drops is going to be great for us. Nahiri, being able to exile like any enchantment is actually incredibly problematic for us. She comes down, she exiles Clothis. That puts her down to 2. And then we're going to have to like replay Clothis, and it's basically just going to be we never get to keep Clothis on the board. That's Logic Investigator. Logic Investigator's a... So, yeah, let's go ahead and play Fury. Is this just trying to be like red-white Death and Taxes? I mean, I guess you could do a lot worse than using the Nahiri for that. And as soon as they skip a land drop. Alright, there's Lauren. She blows up the Fury. We don't care about that. There's another land for us. We do have Fire Prophecy. We've also got Brotherhood End for sweeping. I'm trying to think. We can get Clothis down and just like start painting them, especially now that we have the 5th land. I don't think I mind that. Because if the land tax is like the biggest issue though. But if they can't recast it, but we can... I think I always play the Bloodstained Mire. I think with Collective Defiance and everything else, I'm okay to like hold off. And then like we just make sure we never let the land tax go off. So that way they can't just recast Nahiri, because with leaving the deck as is, we're fine. Like, if they just never cast Nahiri, then we win. Yeah, we'll both draw a card. I probably could have cracked the Bloodstained Mire response there. Like, the important thing to remember now is that we are just not ever gonna play more lands than them. Which, you know, damn. We do have lands in the graveyard. This is what? Activate only if you control 5 or more lands, so we can play Cryptic Case, crack it, draw a new card. That's not bad. And I don't need to play additional cards right now, so let's go ahead and eat the Investigator. Play the Cryptic Cavern, crack the Cryptic Cavern. And then we can just like chill if we want. And then we'll go ahead and drop the Cinderglade. Make it clear that we're just gonna force them to have like land drops. They have their red, they can play Nahiri, give it a Clothis. No, they're gonna Skyclave Apparition. Okay. Well, they have 5 lands, so we can play 5 lands now. Do I want to hit that with Fiery Prophecy? I think I do. And we do want to cycle a card back, I think. Not Brothers In, not Collective Defiance. Probably the Mastery. Ooh, Flame Bolt's not bad. And let's just go ahead. Actually, you know what? Flame Blast Bolt. Hold that up for Nahiri. Alright, there's Nahiri's Warcraft. Go ahead and grab another mountain. Alright, and we have, like, cards for days. So, they play Nahiri, they can plus her to 6, and then we can just, like, murderize her. I think we're fine to just go ahead and pass until we have, like, another land for Klothys. Because if we just play her out, then... like, we lose the tempo on that. Yep, that's Fable. Dealing with Mirror Breaker is going to be a problem for us. And we'll take this here. Shove aside. We have all the stuff, the things. I could Brothers End here. I think that's what I do. We were what? We are not the starting players. We can cast Shove Aside as a head flash. Yep, we're just staring at each other right now. Three, 4, 5. We're currently at 5. Yep. Our Revelation doesn't do anything. Probation doesn't do anything. We are currently blanking a lot of their cards, but they're still going to have a ton of Vanishing Lights. Like, they're just going to have, like, all the answers we have for Klothys. Blood Moon is... yeah. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and pick this up. Like, a red-white control deck, we're going to blank a lot of their individual removal, but they have so much enchantment removal that Klothys just never sticks on board. So, even before the Blood Moon, that was going to be an incredibly uphill battle for us. Aunt Laza, well, we have Play with Fire, Magic Missile, Warcraft, and Rending Flame. This is going to be tricky. I think the Play with Fire makes this a keepable hand. If they don't lead off on a Dork, that's great for us. But I am going to need to make sure that the Forest goes down turn 2. We have the Rending Flame, we have the Warcraft. Yep, that's an elf. Cast my fire. Cast my fire. Let me cast my fire. They might have Flare of Cultivation. If they have Flare of Cultivation, then there's just like no chance of me. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Alright, so that's a bolt. And for turn, pass. Drawing the bolt is so good here. Basically, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to make sure that the Rending Flame or the... There it is! There's the Flare of Cultivation. You never want to hold that against a deck with open red mana. You just don't. Because the elf is almost always going to get bolted. And now I have a decision to make. I can try and get Klothys going. The Pantlaza is guaranteed to come down next turn because they have the Forest in hand. If they hit, like, any sort of flicker effect, though, they just get way too much value. So what I'm going to do is hold this mana open. Like, there's just no reason for them not to Pantlaza here. We're gonna wait to see what they discover. It's gonna be a Kami of the Bamboo Groves. So yeah, we're going to go ahead, kill Pantlaza now. Now, the Kami does mean that they could just cast Pantlaza again next turn. But you know what? I can't do nothing about that. And if I don't get Clothis down, then there's literally no way that we can actually try and, like, attempt to keep up. Now, again, they are playing Naya. Ooh, Hulking Raptor with Ward 2. Notably, Magic Missile can't be countered. So, like, hey, good for us. I'm actually really surprised that the Harry deck was running Blood Moon, but, like, that's just good tech on there. What am I looking for? Looking for a land or removal that can hit Pantlaza? Magic Missile just getting through the ward is going to be really spicy. The opponent would pass priority back to me. Opponent. Ren's Resolve. Ooh, that's actually... yeah. So, we do have a fetch land, so we can play some extra cards. Currently, I have... Yeah, so we need the extra mana here. We also have the option of potentially going into a Spiteful Banditry. That could actually end up being a lot better. It gets us extra treasure, it helps us ramp and keep up there. They've got 2 mana open. It could be a remand, the white remand. More than likely, it is probably a flicker effect. So I'm going to gamble that it is not a remand. If it is, well then Magic Missile wasn't going to be able to get rid of the Hulking Raptor either way. Banditry is on the stack. Banditry goes off, triggers, we get the treasure. Alright, so that worked out. Watley. Enter, search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand. They have 3 mana, so they're not going to be able to transform her right away. I don't have to grab anything. They got a mountain, so they're not setting up for Flare. Garrick's Uprising. Do I need to do anything? Probably not. The Uprising is actually kind of problematic for us. We don't have any more lands to feed, so we can't play Inferno this turn, so let's just go ahead and start eating. The Garrick's Uprising is just going to be like straight up gas for them, and that is the biggest issue. Let's Ren's Resolve first, then. We do hit our land drops, that's pretty pog. And then I think we're just gonna strangle Huatley. That's gonna give us the extra treasure. That means we can do some extra stuff next turn. They're probably trying to build up enough mana so that way they can play Pantlaza and then flicker it to protect us from any removal. Atali! Bad! Bad dinosaur deck! Yep, okay, so the Conductive Current doesn't do anything. That's pretty great for us. They're not going to cast it. Selvala is a problem, but one that we can bolt away. And then we also have Magic Missile plus Nahiri Warcrafting to get rid of Atali. Yeah, let's just go ahead and bolt her now. That does give us additional treasure, which is really helpful. If I can get Chandra down and start plussing her, that would be amazing. Alright. Let's take a look what we're doing here. They have a Bird of Paradise. I need to get rid of Atali ASAP. They are tapped out, so this is the turn to do it. Magic Missile 2 and 1. 5 off the Warcraft. That's going to be 6 mana. I have all the mana to make that work. 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. So So I can also play Exploration this turn. All right. So then let's go ahead and do it like this. We'll play the Exploration. We'll play Mountain. That triggers the Exploration, draws us a card. Ghost Fire Slice deals 4 damage, which unfortunately to any target, which is not what we need, unfortunately. 1, 2. Submit the 2. That's going to refund one of the treasures for us. Alright, and then Ghost Flyer deals an extra ping. That took a lot of cards, so we're a lot of cards down. And I'm pretty sure Zakama actually just single-handedly wins the game for them, so like, yeah. Because we don't have anything big enough to deal with a 9/9. This is where I start thinking maybe we do want just another win condition in Colossus, because Colossus is not a deck that can handle big, rampy, stompy decks. But at that same time, it's like, well, but we destroy control decks, we destroy small aggro decks, so I'm willing to make that trade-off. So if I need to just, like, farm, kill a bunch of creatures or whatever, then I can just be like, okay, this is not a good matchup for me, scoop, move on. We're still on blue-white, we're still on red-green. You know what? Take a look at some of those Manifest Dread cards. Because some of those looked really spicy. Let's take a look here. The hover ship is actually really cool because that is actually just removal. Unsettled Twins, Dread. I want to stick to the equipment, I think. First, Windbreak. Now remember, we could actually play the equipment here. Because we have ways to blink the equipment. We have like Teleportation Circle. And that's something that the Atrada deck did not have. That's really cool. Turn up to 1 non-permanent Manifest Dread. Manifest Dread. This is actually just actual factual Manifest Dread. I don't think we play this. I think I'm just trying to do like a little too much with a bunch of other cards to really play a dedicated Manifest Dread card. But I like where you're going with that. We're not going to run the survival card unless we play more rulable cards. Thanks. Enters Manifest Dread. When you return a permanent face up, put a 1/1 counter on it. See, all of the face down stuff is like in blue-green. We could play Conductive Machete, but I think Conductive Machete is a little too dirly for a deck that's already kind of dirly. Vanglass Onslaught, though. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. Dies, Manifest. Enters, Manifest. Whenever a face-down card you control enters, search your library before basic land, put on the battlefield tapped. Again, I think that's just a little too dirly. I think if you want to play like a pure Dread deck, then you really want to commit to the theme. And you don't want to do what I'm doing where I'm playing like a lot of the prototype cards. That being said. Oh, wait. Need to pull off the Dustmore mask here. I think Cryptic Cloak is pretty cool. We're already playing Vinifar. I think Vinifar is what you want to play if you want to play the face down deck. In fact, that might actually be a really cool brew next time we come in here. So I'll give that a try. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Cloak 2 of them, put the rest on the bottom in random order. Oh my god. You know what? This is potentially pretty cool. I don't think there's an actual factual manifest card, right? Whenever a modified creature control dies, manifest the top card of your library. No. I think there is. There's like Kozilek, but we're not going to be playing Kozilek. Let's see. Anything cool with Morph? We're not playing Master Pearls. There's Metamorph. I like 1,000 Wins. 1,000 Wins is cool. True Polymorph. Target artifact or creature becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, there's some cool cards. I used to like keep the cards you don't own off when looking through stuff because it made me feel bad. It made me feel like I had to get some of these new cards. But I'm gonna start like leaving it on uncollected too, so that way I have some targets and I can remember. Oh, right, I do want something. No, there's a Sagumaler. Sagumaler is kind of cool, but it's not anything for the artifact deck. What was it? Let's see, disguise. I don't think there's anything cool disguise that we. Soroka, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. What's up, Burb? Let's see. Witnesses turn face up. The problem with this, guys, is that they trigger on when they turn face up. And we're going to be blinking them into existence. There is a Coveted Falcon. Falcon's a bird. Falcon's an artifact bird. That's kind of it. Yeah, I don't think we need to go too crazy. We're just going to be adding in a couple of cards. There is split up. Falcons are cool. Agreed. Falcons are cool. Split up's an interesting wrath. Let's see. It might be something we could do if we're constantly blinking stuff. Trapped in the screen. This exiles an artifact, creature, or enchantment. Is that better than Pull the Moon? Pull the Moon might be better because it does add the Journey to Nowhere effect to a card in your hand. If this was an artifact, I think it'd be slam dunk. As it is right now, maybe not quite. The Annex Sentry, I think, does the job well enough on its own. What else we got here? Your Nobility. There's the Ghostly Dancers. Ghostly Dancers also have a really cool ETB. They return enchantments from your graveyard to your hand. They also unlock doors, but we're not really running any doors. We do get cool artifact creatures. During target creature with mana value 3 or less from graveyard to battlefield. And whenever you attack, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature. Creature spells having Convoke is cool. Let's see, anything in blue? I think so. I think just the Dread cards are enough for us. But hey, that's what Tune Up Day is for. Enduring Curiosity doesn't work for this deck specifically. Doing the Blink Blunks. Does commentators draw that many cards? Enters or attacks, draw 2, discard a card. Like the Impendi is kind of cool. If a little fiddly. This one bounces. Domination. Grimoire enters. If you cast it, draw 5 cards. What is this? Patchwork Beastie. Can't attack or block unless you have Delirium. Beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. That's actually a really cool card. We can build around that with another deck. I'll spend an uncommon there. What else we got? They do just be Manifesting Dread. This is an Overgrowth Zealot. Switching a doll is an artifact, but it counts up counters, so it's not really a good blink target. Break down the door is cool. Utility. Might be worth playing that in the Pock deck. Whenever a Shrieker attacks, Manifest Dread. If there was like an ETB Manifest Dread, that would be a pretty easy. Head Shred is another cool one. Whenever one or more lands are put into your graveyard, they just come into the battlefield tapped. Chrono has the Survival. Just straight up puts permanents from your hand into play. So like, Chrono is actually going to be really good for the vehicles deck. The Enchantment has ETB Manifest Dread. Whenever the Scarecrow attacks, if you have Delirium, lands can go on. Check the top card if it's a land, put on the battlefield. If not, it can go into hand. There's a worm. Yeah, I don't think there's any like super secret tech. We still don't have a copy of Walking Clouds. The Onslaught, as we saw, could be really good even as a 1. So like just a 3 mana Manifest Dread, get a big thing out, then immediately blink it. There's Nico. Restricted Office and Lecture Hall, I think, is probably one of the big cards to craft for blue-white. Being a Wrath that also turns into... protects your board. We don't need to play any of the Verges. Enters attached to a target creature you control, and then whenever the equipped creature attacks, tap the one target creature. That's a lot of baseball bat. Spawn doesn't quite work. Bookworm triggers at the end step. There's Zimone. We do not have Zimone. Yeah, the only other thing that has EB Dread is Conductive Machete, and I don't think Conductive Machete is good enough or fast enough. The good news with a lot of the Cloak and Dread cards, like the current 5 cards that we're going to be slotting in, is Onslaught, Hidden Played Sight, Cursed Windbreaker, Cryptic Cloak, and Hovership. The Windbreaker and the Coat both trigger the Synthesizer. So we're really, really trying to stretch and like find enough room for all this. Let's think. Let's do some thinking here. I want to try and leave in the prototype cards as much as possible because they're the reason why I built this deck in the first place, and some of them have just been very, very, very good. The Boulder Branch Golem has been very good for stabilizing with the life gain, with just being a big. Rado Clear Cutter also works really good with Lagrella. This is a great blink target. The Steel Seraph is probably the one that is the most cuttable, unfortunately, which makes me very sad. The Thunderhawk. Thunderhawk is like a good snowball card. It's a good top end, especially for the blink deck. That out theoretically. Let's see. This is removed. This removes anything that's toughness 5 or less. I could try cutting out the apparition. Cut out the apparition to try the hover ship. See how much that works. I also just like having both. Let's see, Vanifar already in here. There's the Guardian Project. How deep are we in on this? Feels pretty deep. Combat Thresh is actually just draws a card. Comes in on 3. Has double strike. Cannoneer. Cannoneer's another win condition. Can't be blocked. I haven't really had a chance to try Cannoneer. And I want to try these other cards. Like, if we can use all of the Manifest Dread to get out some of these other big creatures, I think we're on the right side of that. How much punch do we lose if we... Whenever I play with the Thunderhawk, it's been okay. It's never been something I've wanted to tap out and pay 7 for. It's always been something I wanted to cheat out for. Cannoneer just not had a chance to play. The Steel Seraph has honestly been good. Like having a creature that can just fly, lifelink, vigilance, protect and attack. Most importantly, the Angel doesn't really... It's a little more mana intensive. Like, the whole big thing is that Legion of Clay is here. And I don't want to get away from Legion of Clay. I want to pull out these cards specifically to help enable more cheating. So, like, Item Plain Sight, I think, goes in right away. Both Cryptic Coat and Windbreaker are the cards that I think we have to spend a little more time justifying. And I don't know that we have the cards to pull out to justify them. Yeah, I don't think either of those are, like, good enough on their own to justify pulling out slots for, but maybe I'll be surprised. Alright, let's go ahead and play with Ligrella. Incidentally, the Ligrella deck is named Satisfactory because I just kind of vaguely knew that Satisfactory was the game that you play to, like, build big machines and automate everything. And that was the original idea for the deck. This is a really greedy hand, but I'm going to keep it anyway. Because the opponent is on Sultai, and we have a lot of 1-drops. I will lead off on Zabird. Because if we get to untap with Zabird, we have the best chance of being able to double spell with Halfling and Sentinel. And would you look at that? Go with Strand. Play Sentinel. They have a chance to crack their Delta and... No? Okay. I will go ahead and pay the life to crack the Halfling. And then because we already have Halfling, Bird, and Flooded Strand, what I'm actually going to do is grab our Trilane. Normally I would Surveil, but I think with the Confluence chipping away at us, we need it. Now, I went shields down. If they decide to Tragic Slip, if they decide to Fatal Push or anything like that, we still get the draw off of the Sentinel. It looks like no, they're going to set up instead. So we're going to get to 5 mana on the untap, so I can go ahead, play Ingenious Smith, and then play Ligrella. Depending on what they want to do. They don't. Alright, well here's Snow Cover. Here's Ingenious Smith. Would you like to counter this? Because I'd rather them counter the Smith than the Circuit Mender. No, Mana Drain. Okay. Well, that is a lot. Well, here's the Circuit Mender. We're going to get that life back. They probably thought that I was going to go straight into Ligrella for that, which, like, completely fair. But the Circuit Mender is actually just so much better for Ligrella. Oh, yeah, because Ligrella would have been uncounterable with the Halfling. Yeah, that's true. 5 mana, they could Time Warp. No, they're going to 6 instead. Okay. I'll play the Temple Gardens. That way we can go ahead, put in some green. Alright, here's an uncounterable Ligrella. Exile 6, exile the Mender. Now we can start drawing cards. I'm not going to attack my Sentinel into them, just in case they have like a Snapcaster Mage. Ooh. Nothing but flats. Did they? They didn't. They didn't do anything else with the increased mana from the Mana Drain. Uro comes down. Uro currently has 3 cards he can eat. Jet Collector is here. 4 more cards in your graveyard. gets the Mox. I've been seeing a lot of people playing the Jet Collector. And I think I get it. It does just kind of get a free rock. Oh my god. Could I please draw something other than Thought Monitor? Oh, I mean, like, draw actual spells, but I guess Thought Monitor is this. Look, whatever. I will go ahead and pay 6 for the Thought Monitor. It's not ideal, but we need to get going before Nashi wants to start just popping, I don't know, Uro, Mana Drain, something, anything. And I've got enough options in terms of lands here to be able to, say, play a fetch land and threaten being able to play Wash Away. Hey, Wash Away! Alright. Go ahead. Do I want to attack him with the Grella? Do I want to get smacked back? Probably not. Let's see. We've already got blue here. It's going to have to be a shock land. So it's going to be our breeding pool. Let's see. They can go ahead and pay the 1 there. Oh! And, we win. Because I guess the opponent felt that they were falling way too far behind, which, honestly, reasonable assumption considering I've got like 5 cards in hand. I don't have anything set up just yet, but with the... See, they go ahead, they try and play Nashi, right? Try and play Nashi. I can still Wash Away it. That still gives me a turn. I can play Urza, but if I don't draw anything to help flicker Lagrella, or even just the Thought Monitor, then I'm not confident we can take over the game. But at least we're in a position where we've made so many land drops that any sort of like Damnation to help reset the board, or any sort of big spell that sets us back, we can still reset pretty easily. Alright. I'm going to take a quick break to use the washroom, and then let's play a little bit more. Ooh, boosty pack. Ooh, 2 boosty packs. Oh, let's open the boosty packs real quick. Another Delny. We got Undead Sprinter. The black-red zombie with trample haste. You may cast it from your graveyard if a non-zombie died this turn. If you do, it enters with a 1/1 counter on it. Okay, so you go like 1 mana Fatal Push, 2 mana Undead Sprinter, bolt you. That's pretty cool. So many scarecrows. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. You're right, it's not just a boulder, it's a pain in my ass.
Okay, but I think I have an idea compilation for a god. I need a Hero Girls noise compilation.
And potentially subscribe. I don't have like any sort of like fancy post editing to do, like a hey y'all, let's be sure to smash that like bucket. Like bucket? Likes are buckets?
I also have a YouTube channel, but I don't use that at all. So mostly just Twitch.
All right. And then come on, you're the last one in, you're the last one out.
Jesus.
Oh my god, that's
Very
I had
eventful.
liquid in my mouth. Anyways, once again, Kyrian Nebrius. You can find me twitch.tv/Kyrian Nebrius, KIR.
Ah, so many powers. So much creativity. It is my mind, it overflows. My mind overflows. It becometh. Like, here's the thing, right? There it is. There's a Master Sword. And I feel so apprehensive about this. Like, maybe this is just foresight or hindsight, because I know what's going to be here after. All right, we're back. Another game with a girl then. Really want to see if we can figure out any sort of cards we're not necessarily happy with that we could use to fit in that Cryptic Cloak. Cryptic Cloak would be the first one. Windbreaker would be the second one. I think the Cloak is a little ahead because you can redo them. And we're up against Gideon of the Trials. Mono white control. So there's going to be plenty of wrath. There's going to be a lot of interaction that we're not going to enjoy. This helps a lot. Let's see. Turn 1, Grazer. Play out the Crossroads. Name Blue. Try and make sure we're digging for another land. Headquarters is perfect. We could play Urza. I'm just gonna pass though. And then next turn they're likely to play out a Mana Rock? No, okay. I can't believe I have to play around Tithe right now. So silly. Here's Urza. I just have to play around Mana Tithe. That's the world we live in. Yep, not surprising that Urza eats it. Here comes Gideon. No! Skyclave Relic! Okay, well then. They really, really, really want me to play around Mana Tithe. Mana Tithe feels really bad to play around, so let's go ahead and grab some blue-white. Now, they might be waiting for me to load up on creatures before they play a Wrath to try and get, like, ultimate value. Fiddlebender's a problem. Fiddlebender is a big, big problem. Unfortunately, not one I can really play around. So we'll go ahead, we'll play the Lagrella. They could remand her. At least this way, now, if the Grazer comes back, we can do some stuff. Alright, they're just gonna... Resolute Reinforcements? What? Yeah, that does work. Is this not? Is this like soldier themed? Let's see. They get the emblem until end of turn. Indestructible. Yeah, okay, so they get the emblem. We can't do anything about that. We're going to attempt to get rid of him. Okay, well, they're not going to be on the mono white. This is not a card you play in mono white control. So there is that. I think I'm okay with trying to beat down here. They could wander in Emperor. Sigrid. So they do get Fiddlebender back. That's until she leaves the battlefield? Okay. Go ahead, get rid of Fiddlebender again. This time the Grazer can attack. I still haven't had a chance to really play my Hide in Plain Sight. Okay. So they're just gonna kill a gorilla. To be expected. I guess they're actually playing Paradox Engine, right? Oh, there's Chamil. Ah, shit. Right, Chamil. That's a problem. So they just play that next turn. Like, Chamil comes down no matter what, right? Okay. Well, this isn't getting any better. Soul Herder is great here. So is Hover Ship. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn the Soul Herder up. And that's going to get rid of Fiddlebender forever. And now we can just, hopefully we can keep up with this. Now, notably, we can crew the hover ship. And that'll let the Soul Herder blink out more stuff. We need to get rid of the Chamel. Gandalf! Yeah, this is just like white ETB value stuff, I guess. Oh, Haywire Might, you love to see that. Now they will get to Manifest Dread. That's pretty bad. Through with the Grazer. Go to combat. Attack with the hover ship. Play out the Golem. Gain some extra life. End turn. Blink out the hover ship. They do get the Manifest Dread. But now we can get rid of Gandalf. Do they have a Destroy Evil? Evil! Can't stop that, unfortunately. Oh, at least we get rid of the Gandalf. Possibly would have liked the opportunity to get the ETB done before the leaves, but c'est la vie. At least we can play the Thought Monitor and start reloading, then play the Grella. Yep, there's Gideon. Target let's see, prevent all damage target permanent would deal. That's fine.
Try getting through me.
Pass the block. Block the drop, I guess. Prevent all damage target permanent would deal. Oh, I guess I could have hover shipped. I'm not too worried. Alright, my turn. Hollow Fountain is pretty. Let's go ahead. We'll Thought Monitor. Draw some card. Skyglaive Apparition makes this pretty cool. Let's see. Pay 2. I can go ahead, play the Apparition, get rid of Trials. I can also get rid of the Face Down card. I can also get rid of Sigrid. What am I thinking? I think we always play the Apparition. I think getting rid of Sigrid means that we can go combat. Or wait, hold on. Yeah. Tap the. Go to attackers. Go attack here. Now Gideon's gone. Probably drop the Authority next turn. Got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we have enough to play Authority and Lagrella. That's pretty cool. And then Lagrella can blink out the Thought Monitor. You can start drawing cards if the Thought Monitor comes back in. Ah, that's the One Ring. So we have to blink out the Apparition now. But then they get a creature for their troubles. Well, at least we know the hover ship's good. Curse of Silence naming Lagrella. So now we, yeah. Yeah, that's probably. We do hit the land. So we can go to combat, swing with everything. We can also attack with the Grazer. Not gonna swing in with the hover ship. Oh, wait, they have protection. Right. Whoops a doodle. Alright. Let's go ahead. We'll play Lagrella. That can resolve. We'll blink out the thought monitor. Hold on. Do I want to hit the Skyclave apparition or do I want to hit the thought monitor? I think I have to hit the thought monitor. Very specifically because if they wrath, then I'm going to need a way to reload. Lowering of the third path. Alright, that works. Alright, well, they're going to get this, just start drawing all the cards with the one ring. We are on a tight clock, but Archaeum Mender makes that so much better. Because now we can go ahead, get back the Haywire Might, exile the one ring. And what are they going to do about it? Ooh, Savine's Reclamation is even better. Because I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have so much. Can you even get back the Soul Herder? I have, yeah, all the mana to do that. Alright, attempt to exile the one ring. Alright, hold on to Reclamation, just because that seems like it's going to be relevant. That's right. We go to combat. And I'll swing with both of these. I need to start, like, getting pressure on him. Age... No, Grace. Until end of turn, damage that would reduce your life to less than 1 reduces the 1 instead, but it's also just like a 5/4 blocker. And it's 5 mana? Alright, yep, that's completely fair. I guess I could have played Authority to Council first, but this just means... And then I do get to copy it. Reprieve! Oh my god! Return target spell to its owner's hand. But because I was flashing it back, it gets exiled instead? Ew. Starheart Dragon, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. Oh my god, ew. I would think it would actually go back to my hand, but I guess not. Oh, now they got the invasion going on. Today we're just using Duskmorn as a chance to tune up some decks. Oh god. The reprieve on the Seville is brutal. Yeah, the Angel can go ahead and swing in, get the invasion online. Which means now they can set up a one-sided Wrath. No, coming at me. I'll take the 5 there. Solemn Simulacrum, okay. Some of the effects in the new set are not good. It's definitely a tuner set rather than a brewer set, is how I like to think of it. Do I have anything I really want to be grabbing back? Not just yet. We definitely play out the Authority. This is bad. This is like bad. No attacks past the turn. Although I guess I could Archaeum Mender, get out the Boulder Branch Golem. Not really what I want to be doing though. We're kind of like just deadlocked until we can draw one of our big cards. Like if we can draw Chimel for ourselves, that's pretty great. We managed to deal with both their Chimel and their one ring. Rest in peace! Well, damn. Alright, it's all gone. Archaeum Mender has no value whatsoever now. least not until we get rid of it, but we've already lost our Haywire Might. Alright, if they're going to keep swinging at us, I'm okay with that. I just don't want them to be able to hit the invasion of Gavakon. Alright, so let's go ahead and surveil, I guess. Let's grab... See, we already have some... Alright, Steel Seeker is not a card we want, unfortunately. I'm hellbent, brother. Well, we have Clear Cutter. And I'm like completely... I'm spent. I don't know what else I can do. Like, they can crack Inventor's Fair to try and grab one more back-breaking artifact. But we bottomed out. Alright, get the token. We needed a Thassa. We needed Elish Norn. Yorion would be good. We have a ton of outs, but we're running out of them. Notably, I could crew the hover ship and then double block with the Grazer if I really, really, really need to, but that's just begging for a blowout. Gideon coming down. That's annoying.
Your weapons won't help you win.
Yep, the Clear Cutter is not going to be dealing damage.
You'll have to get through me first.
I guess I attack with the hoverboard, even if it is like, you know, going into the Wandering Emperor. Oh, God. You're still playing your Dragon Shrine deck? You need more ways to get mana? Ain't that just always the way? Yeah, The problem is, if they plus Gideon, Gideon just turns into a 4/4 beater. Let's go ahead and just... I guess. Through, attempt to attack Gideon. Like, there's no way they don't have an answer. Yep, there's the Bodyguard. Bodyguard, exiles hover ship. Now they get the Manifest Dread. We need something to board wipe them. Yeah, that would be one thing that could help us out. At this point, I'm just going to play the Archaeo Mender just to have another body. Archaeo Mender, no target, feels really bad. They might have actually been waiting specifically so that way Angel of Grace can attack the invasion risk-free. We just need one really pog card to start going off. That's not a great card for us to top deck. Never say never, but it's starting to look really, really bad. We'll just go ahead and start pumping up the Clear Cutter, I guess. I don't want to attack into a Settle the Wreckage, so we're just gonna pass the turn. Like, they are in full control, and we've drawn dead cards for the past 3-4 turns.
Try getting through me.
Alright, I think now's the point where we start protecting our life total a bit. We can't do anything. Now they can swing the invasion, no problem. Idyllic Tutor grabbing Curse of Humility would end this, I think. Deification? Planeswalkers you control have hex proof as long as you control a creature. Oh hey, Psych Rift. That's pretty pog. You know what? Let's see. They would get to replay the Angel of Grace on their turn. How do I feel about it? We do get to just like attack for everything. The 5/4 comes down. The 5/4 eats something. I don't think. All right. No attacks. Pass. I'm gonna wait until the end of their turn. See exactly what it is they try and do.
Let's do this.
All right, so they're gonna attack me for 5. I'm gonna let that happen. And then, all right, the Authority Council does stop them. All right. Anything else? No. All right. Let's Psych Rift and hope that they Teferi's Protection. Yeah, we completely bottomed out. I don't. That's disheartening. It is what it is. GG's. Wasn't like it was a bad game. We just didn't see any of our engines. Here, we'll play one more with Lagrella before we start tuning another deck, because I think the deck is fine. Like, anytime that we can get, like, a Thassa, Chamil, any of our draw engines, I think we take over that game pretty easily. Let's see. On the play, we got Triland to start. Into Forest. We got Hide in Plain Sight. We're up against Ty Joaquin Perfect Shot. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to a creature equal to its toughness, draw a card. And then they could pay X tap to let's see, to a permanent player deals that much damage plus X instead. Alright, so there's the Signet. Pass the turn. We can play the Lantern next turn, and that's kind of what I want to do. Alternatively, we could just go Fountain. Oh, I guess never mind. They don't want us to have fun. I mean, I don't know that that is the correct answer there. Like, 1 damage, exile target artifact. I feel like you want to hold on to that for something more relevant than just a Signet. Unless you are just that confident that you have something better to do. Like, here, we have blue. I can go Sky Apparition. Get rid of Ty Joaquin. And then, if they have, like, a shock, that still draws them a card. Oh, that's not what you want to do, friend. They fucked up. They've lost their commander forever. And now we get to play Lagrella. They're just on red-white control. They've lost their draw value engine. Yeah, you have to decide at the point of Skyclave Apparition exiling it, because that's already the creature being moved into exile. There's no change of zone as soon as your commander gets freed from the apparition. You just get the spirit. So, like, opponent fucked up. They really, really wanted to aggressively get rid of that Signet. Like, I understand the reasoning. If the opponent is relying really heavily on the Signet to, like, fix their mana or ramp to something, then that probably pays off. But in our case, wasn't so much. All right. So what else are we going to try out here? Dustmorn gave us a few different cards. I think one of the things I did want to try out is see what we have for Bearless Bear Force. Damnation is going to be a good one. I think it's actually it's potentially a pretty easy swap for Season of Loss with Damnation. I like Damnation, or no, I like Season of Loss. But unfortunately, it's a little harder to set up than I think I had initially anticipated, so I'd rather just have the straight up Damnation. I've also been thinking lately that I kind of want to put Beseech back in, but being triple black makes that really hard. Oh, and there's the consideration. There's the considering artifacts being immune to spell and sorcery of equal or lesser value. Actually, could you reword that? I'm not sure I quite understand what you mean. Anyway, split up. Split up is a really good graph. See, we've also got, let's see, there's jump scare. We don't need to play on one to remake because we're already playing black. Exercise, exile, artifact, enchantment, or creature power 4 or greater. Exercise, that's actually pretty good. That is surprisingly good. I really like the utility there. I don't think we need to play it. I think it's probably better for a budget build. Shelter by Ghost is cool. 1-0 lifelink in War 2. Split Skin Doll comes into play. It draws a card. If we were playing more of the familiar and cantrip type cards, I think this would actually be pretty good. But we're not, so we don't need to. Let's see. Whenever it dies, that just drains 1. This is Final Vengeance. Sack a creature or enchantment to exile target creature. Faithful. Pay 4. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. I kind of like this as a way to get the Lurrus back, but that's 5 mana over the course of 2 turns. I don't know how viable that is. For Magic Gathering, they're considering making it so artifacts are immune to spell creature abilities or sorceries, and also immune to any effects not the same. I'm gonna need a source for that because I have not heard anything like that. That would fundamentally, like, change the entirety of the game. Let's see, the Cynical Loner. If it's the second main phase and it's tapped, search your library for a card put into your graveyard shuffle. That's pretty cool, but we don't really have, like, any strong enablers for that. Demonic Council is one I want for Kalia. Target creature gets 2/2. Nowhere to run. Target creature gets -3/-3. And then we can target their hexproof / ward cards. The Stick Twister has Delirium. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent may sack a non-land permanent or discard a card. Then Stick Twister deals damage equal to its power to each opponent who didn't sack or discard. Okay, so that's like just like deals an extra 2. The Sporogenic Infection, I think, is actually really interesting. It's an enchantment that acts as an edict, and it's one that we can get back with Lurrus, so there is some removal looping that we can do there. With Winter's Intervention, came back wrong, we don't have come back wrong. Immune with Evil isn't bad, it's a way to fill up the graveyard. Murder, Withered Torment, we don't need to play because we're already playing white. Play game, live or die. Rite of the Moth. It's like Unburial Rites, except it makes the creature come back with a finality counter, and the flashback costs more. There's Neglected Manor, which comes into play tapped, and then, like I said, they don't have the enemy colored ones. So there's not a lot that we actually need to worry about in terms of updating Lurrus. Yeah. There probably could have been, like, some cool cards. I think it's more if you're playing, like, the Aristocrat-y, play a bunch of cards that can't trip each other, that this works out. The toy archetype is in red-white. So if we're just playing like a Wrath and an Edict, what are we playing around for that? Banana Sleeper is already a recurable Edict. This one is target player attacks a creature other than enchanted creature. When enchanted creature is dealt damage, destroy it. This could be better than the creature. Could be better than the kicker creature. That might be worth trying out. But this one has 3/1, so it also trades with stuff. Dust destroys toughness 3 or greater. Soul Shatter, Citywide Blast. I feel like I just want to play this in addition. Like, I could see not running the Infection. But I don't think that we have anything that actually would be worth pulling out for it. This is part of why tune-ups can actually be fairly quick. You're just so used to the theme of the deck that you kind of have an idea of what exactly what makes the cut and what doesn't. We want to hold on to the Commando. Yeah, I don't think Infection makes the cut. Even though it is like a cool idea. Did we get rid of the Helping Hand? I think we did. Helping Hand would be cool to get back. We don't want to get rid of any of our 1-drops. So what would we... How many lands are we... How many wraths are we... If we include... Split. Damnation. Dusk. Group Battalion is cool. We could probably get rid of Soul Shatter. Not the Flare. Flare Mouse already does the highest, right? Yeah. Alright, let's start cutting out the Soul Shatter. So we're only getting like one real new card in Bearless Bear Force. But honestly, that's fine. I do want to try playing the Layla deck a little bit more. A lot of the artifacts and enchantment creatures are really cool. Oh, it's 5-color Joda. Oh no! Deep Cavern Bat, Ripples of Death, Authority. Ripples of Death, I think, work just good and well enough. So there's the Deep Cavern Bat, because we can potentially slow them down. Joda is going to be a 4-drop. 4-drop that lets him cast any 5-drops. We have to go Ripples before we go into Bat. As much as I want to go into Bat to protect the Ripples. Because we just need to dig. Because if Joda stays down... not good.
I'm always happy to take your money.
Brony Man, thank you so much! 17 months of subscriptions! Thank you, thank you! And thank you all for hanging out on a Tune-Up Monday. Alright, since chat is currently around, let me ask chat. Chat, like, is there anything that you're particularly excited about from Duskmorn? It's okay, you can tell me. You can let me know. It's okay. I know Amy the Amazonian did the Clown deck. She did the 5-color Rooms deck. Both of those I'm going to end up checking out. Toys just seems like a regular go wide deck. There's our Toughness 4 greater. No! The City White doesn't get there. Grand Abolisher. I think instead... Alright, here's Deep Sea... Here's a bat. Not quite. They could just, like, bolt the bat in response and then... I'm sorry, what? Hold on, what? Discard a card, return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Oh my god, they're playing out... Okay, they're playing Atlantic. So, they don't have anything that inherently wins the game. Paleontologist is... Sure, the call is a problem. I think I take the Breach of the Multiverse as the biggest thing. Alright, let's go ahead. We'll name white. And primate is not going to be an answer. Alright, well... I guess Joda can come down this turn. I don't know that they're willing to do that against a black-white deck, though. Like, sometimes you just gotta jam. Alright, they're jamming. So we need to see... Remove... Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Voice of the Blessed and Unearth. I think I like taking the Unearth here. And since this is only 3 mana, I can get there. Each player sacrifices a creature, so we will be sacrificing the Sleeper. Alright. So... that stops him for a little bit. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and start trying to set everything else up. We have the Unearth to go ahead and get back the Voice of the Blessed. Potentially even a Grand Abolisher. We're definitely playing Skrell's Hive and Ellis next turn, I think. I can use the Ripples of Undeath to go ahead and grab another land so we can make that land drop. Well, we've cleared the first hurdle. That's the important thing. They will get to play Joda next turn, so we're not done digging yet. Ah, the World Tree! Creature can't block. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses life. I am going to go ahead and pay it, I think. Because I want to continue making those land drops. Amalia would be really good. How do we want to... let's see, there's Skrelv. Get Skrelv going, get the Cleric going. Get Skrelv going, because then we can start getting the Corruption to try and get the lifelink. And this is what? Pay 2, exile target card from a graveyard. Oh, I forgot they could just, like, sink and get rid of all my stuff. Okay, yep. Never mind. That's a god-awful card for them to have on me. Alright, so they get to top 7, put a creature from among them onto the battlefield. Well, that's not a Pryvar. Cruel Celebrant is pretty cool. I kind of like grabbing Blood Artist. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Well, are we okay with using the Caves of Coilus? I think we are. Alright, we're just gonna keep running it, I guess. The Paleontologist is actually much bigger of a problem than I anticipated. The fact that they're cycling their lands to try and draw into an answer is really great for us, though. Them leaving up mana with the Paleontologist is really bad. Kaya doesn't do a whole lot right this second. Oh, wait, and now they get to hit our hand. The Citywide Bust doesn't do enough. Did they... Wait. Oh, they played out their Angel Land. Okay. They could theoretically get rid of Unearth. We have this Scar... Nope, they're going to get rid of the Bat. Selfless Savior's not bad. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab the Priest here. Sure. Actually, hold on. Anything fun that we want to get back before it gets eaten? Probably Amalia, if I'm being honest. Yep, now everything is going to get bigger. Ooh, Phyrexian Tower. You'll love to see that. I don't think we have enough. Gateway of the... It's the Gateway Express. It's just going to get milled, right? Right. So, like, just leave it up there. And let Amalia get even bigger. Oh wait, hold on. We can draw it, right? We could have drawn it. Yeah. You know what? I'll drink to that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 at Kaya. 1 at their face. Alright. So they have the chance to just like game this, right? Like they just slam breach. They get 2 creatures. Or planeswalkers. So they get Nezhal. And they get, I don't know, Evolved Sleeper, I guess. Like, they don't really have great stuff in ours. Evolved Sleeper, Lone Rider is pretty cool. Nezhal the Prime is probably the biggest one. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, they get to draw a card. Discard 3 cards, return exile. And then it comes into play tapped. Like, the authority of the console just means they're not really going to have any blockers. Legion's Landing is cool. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. How they... Oh, choose a creature or planeswalker. Card in that player's graveyard. Oh, they got Kaya. They got to get Kaya back. I see. Okay. Well. Here's the cool thing. I can still play Case the Gateway. I can also make them use their Caryatid to exile whatever it is. Oh, hello. Yes. I can go ahead and get rid of Kaya by using the Lair now. Alright, so let's go ahead. We'll crack this. They only have 1 card in their hand. I think we've got this. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of their bat so I can play my bat. I just have to make sure I sequence this correctly. So here's Case. Case kills that bat. They have 1 card in hand, so unless they have something that protects the bat... Yep, that's going to be a free draw. Yep. Amalia's going to get bigger. That's an edict. You know, they can leave that on top. Here's the cleric. I could Osprey this if I had 1 more mana. I will get 4 more mana, which means I can actually just hard cast the Malice. Yep. And the writing's on the wall. Like, I can go ahead and swing him in the Blood Arts. It's just gonna, like, completely drain him out. So there we go. GG's. GG's, Dota. I forgot that the Breach would bring back Kaya, though. I mean, I guess the fact that they, well, they had a chance, right? They actually could have, like, exiled the Blood Artist. So that way we can't just, like, do anything like that. I don't know if that was really, like, a great idea or not. But it was an idea. Let's see. Take a look at Alayla, shall we? Who's ding dong ditching me? Alright, so I think we did end up putting in some of the new cards here. We definitely have Damnation, The funeral room is here, as I said before, so is unidentified hover ship. We also got the enduring curiosity. Was there anything trapped in the screen? Also here. Boromir is already here. Don't think that there's anything too much else. Having the additional enchantment and artifact creatures is pretty great. I might work it so that way we do play some of the more cantrip cards in here. Paul, thank you so much for stopping by as we just hang out and do some Dustmorn tuning. Let's take a look at Dustmorn real quick. I think there might be like a couple more stuff here. Alea, that's a patrician commander. How do you mean? How do you mean? How do you mean? Let's see. So playing the familiars and stuff like that doesn't make Split Skin Doll bad. In fact, I think Split Skin Doll, the dog familiar. This really makes me want to play the Enduring Innocence, but I don't have the Enduring Innocence yet. We can still play Split Up. We've also got some ley lines. Maybe being able to convoke a Layla is pretty good. The surgical suite ain't bad. You know, for high quality players. Patricians were the upper class Roman citizens. Ah, right. Hey, today I learned. Yeah. Oh yes. Layla is chef's kiss. She is fantastic. She's like one of the OG classic commanders. I kind of just want to play cool enchantments and stuff. Actually, hold on. You know what? You know what? Some of this actually does work out a little better. Like the rooms actually add some cool value that I think was probably missing before. I don't think we want to play Underwater Tunnel, but I am willing to play Bottomless Pool. Probably would be viable in Esper. Kind of overcosted for today's meta, 2BH. It's weird. It's weird that you say that, because like that's kind of true, and it's also like like Layla being 4 mana and being boltable means that in today's Brawl format, she is incredibly easy to remove, and that is something I constantly run into. So you do have to kind of play her later game after you've already played a bunch of stuff out, which feels bad. Let's see. This is unlock this drawer. You draw 2, lose 2, gain 2. You could just like play the Unholy Annex. Didn't I cut Black Market? I think I did. I think I cut Black Market because Black Market was just draining too much life. Restricted Office would be amazing for this deck, though. She was fine when released. That's true. Yeah, she was. She was fine. But hey, you know what? She's not, oh, God. Sir Gwyn. She's not Sir Gwyn. Like, maybe Alayla's been power crept out a little bit. Maybe she's not, you know, Corvold or Chulin. But she's still okay. At this junction, she takes a while to set up, which means her survival is limited to whatever your starting hand is in the first couple of draws. Also true. That is a very, very astute evaluation. That is actually just factually correct, and it's one of the things that you kind of accept if you're playing Layla, I think. Whenever you attack, or you make a toy token, good number of creatures you control. I think there's still some cool stuff here, but you really gotta like figure out what your room is prioritizing. A draw 2, lose 2, and then the token gets Death Touch later on. I don't think we need that, but there is some cool enchantment support here. Like there's the oh god, what's that? Ghostly Dancers. I think Ghostly Dancers is worth playing. Return an enchantment from your river to your hand or unlock a locked door. You still love her. You burned a mythic wild card to get her. Yo. Honestly, it's a fantastic attitude to have. If you can critically analyze your commander and be like, okay, this is where the commander is going to struggle, so this is how I'm going to have to build the deck to compensate it, but I still love her, so I still love playing her. That's great. That's a great place to be. It's kind of what I was talking about with the Clothis red deck earlier. It's like, well, this deck does not beat big stompy decks like ever, but you just kind of accept that, and it's like, yeah, it's fine. It happens. Overload the Mistmores. That would actually be a nice card to have. There's a ton of toys in here that I think a Layla wants. Unable to Scream is actually... That's like probably a little better than... Not Eaten by Piranhas. That's Flash. It's hard to justify pulling out the Shouldred's Edict. Silent Hollow Creeper. Can't be blocked. Draws cards. I just like playing with the enchantment and the artifact creatures. Fear of Imposter. Enchantment counterspell. This is what, let's see, makes a glimmer whenever it enters play. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much time trying to like fiddle around on Layla. We're not really playing the blink stuff that we would with Lagrella. A little blink could be cool. Just a little blink. A little blink as a treat. Never enchantment control enters this one. Make a gremlin. If you want to go like full enchantress, this could be a cool card for that. But because we're trying to go for like that mix, things a little harder. Valmore isn't aggro, just to spank the Atali decks. That's how you do it, brother. That's how you do it. Whenever enchantment control enters, return Fear of Infinity from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, I like this. I like this because it's like you get to cast an enchantment, and then you just get back an enchantment to cast back a thing. I wish we had like the Espresso. I wish we had the jellyfish that bounces things back to your hand. Also, this is whenever you cast, so land doesn't actually like do a whole lot. Like all the really, really fun stuff is locked behind into the wild cards that I just do not have right now. And that makes me sad. What am I trying to put in? We're trying to put in like the bottomless pool. Bale for Strix goes well. I don't have the Strix, unfortunately, because that's currently a mythic. Oh, I guess it is just a rare. Actually, am I willing to do that? I might be. I'm currently working on that Atrata deck, so hey, you know what? There's worse things to spend a rare wild card. If this was a mythic, I would have said no way. But I forgot that I was wanting the Strix for the Atrata deck, so go ahead and like pull out a couple cards. Ghostly Dancers is only enchantments though. Sad, but probably not the deck for it. You can try going for like a pure Enchantress build at some point. There's a Sanguine Brushstroke, which is also an enchantment. Maybe take out the actual Blood Artist. Unless it's an Artifact Burb. It is an Artifact Burb! Like, I'm so happy that Strix is on Arena now. But we're also like now completely out of rare and mythic wildcards. So it's like, which rare was I going to pull my trigger on? Strix is absolutely worth the trigger. Especially for that Atrata deck. We can get that going. It'd be great to put in some artifact and enchantment creatures with evasion, I think. To help enable the Nijitsu and recast them later. That could be something to look at later on. Eidolon of Obstruction I like because it's a first striker. There is the Alcid. Give her runes to help and Skrelv to help protect Alayla. Lofty Denial was counter magic to help protect Alayla. Also works if we have the fairy tokens out. Am I willing to give up the flash in order to efficiently make the mana more efficient on Unable to Scream? Maybe. We want 2 more cards. Lantern of the Lost here is Graveyard Hate. The other Eidolon in black that draws cards when you kill with auras. True, there is that. I think that's a good idea for the Abzan build that I would like to try building at some point. Yeah, we're not looking to kill with auras, so unfortunately it doesn't help out as much here. I don't like relying on Lion Sash, but I might need to rely on Lion Sash for the Graveyard Hate. It might also be worth cutting out the Bastion of Remembrance now that we have the Funeral Room. Might just be the case. Alright, let's go ahead and take a Layla for a spin. I'm almost definitely going to come back to a Layla once we have some more of these cards. Archons that create unicorns. Oh god, those are good too, yeah. There's a lot of really good Enchantress support you can make. Like, if you were to go ahead and play a Layla primarily as Enchantress, and then you just have artifacts that ramp for her, I think that works pretty nicely. And the infamous Cruel Claw. Well, we have Wrath of God, but I don't really want to rely on that. Children is also pretty nice. We're going to see if we can find some better early interaction. Ugh. We're going to hold on to this because it's not, like, bad. Not great either. Fracture, destroy artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. I'll leave that on top because sometimes they'll want to play the boots. Oh, that's a good target. Ah, Shouldred. Okay. Okay, we have questions and answers. So the Blood Arts just never blocks, right? The Blood Arts just never blocks. What I would like to do is not see Arena of Glory. You made an NES list that isn't terrible. You sure about that? Okay, we have all the blue we need, so let's go ahead and grab Godless Shrine. And then we're going to fracture the Bitter Reunion. Specifically so they can't just Cruel Claw haste next turn. That's the real key here. You want to avoid Cruel Claw having haste as much as possible. Notably, we are missing triple black. No instant speed response, so I guess it's Chromatic Lantern time. Hope they don't have a braid. No a braid, okay. And we're gonna have 3, 4, 5 mana next turn, so we can go ahead and play the Trapped in the Screen if we want to. Ooh, that's Dark Writ. What are you doing? You've got 6 mana. Do you have a big thing? Yawgmoth. Okay. Yawgmoth is a problem. But it's not the problem. So how do we want to do this? Dual Blood Arts is pretty spicy. It is. It is really spicy. So I think we always Trapped in the Screen, get rid of Cruel Claw. Like, that just always happens. And then I am willing to drop the Blood Artist now to just use my mana efficiently. And then next turn we have the option of going Welcoming Vampire, Sanguine Brushstroke. Like, no, we're not going to go ahead and block here. They do get to draw another card. Double Blood Arts is a great place to cast Damnation. Ain't that the truth? Terror of the Peaks is bad. Really bad for us, but maybe we can make it better. I'm gonna hold on to the Talking Numa. Let's go Welcoming Vampire, Sanguine Brushstroke. We do get to draw the card off that, so we get another land, pass. The Welcoming Vampire gets shot by the Terror of the Peaks. We're gonna take an absolute massive fuck ton of damage. Spikefield Hazard? No! Now I only have 1 Blood Artist. Cruel Claw really is nuts. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the fucking 8. Like, that's a lot. And if they have like 1 creature then the Welcoming Vampire's dead anyway. But I'm going to make them have that creature. Cruel Claw tends to play most of its stuff as really high-end anyway, so, like, you know, it's a gamble, but it's a gamble that might pay off. We've also got this blood token that we can use to cash in this Marsh Flats. Ulamog in your graveyard. What are you playing at? Yeah, I think we just cracked the blood token. Anything to help us stay alive right now. Arcane Signet? Am I a joke to you? Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cast a Layla. A Layla's gonna, like, eat removal. But we... Ah, god damn it. Okay, that works. Wait, Tail's End. Tail's End, you say? Well, Tail's End is actually really interesting. Ah, goodbye, Tail's End. Very timely duress from the opponent. So, what can you do? Yep. Cruel Claw, shoot a Layla. Ain't that just the way? What is this? Let's see, currently 4, 5, 6, 7. If I draw like one land, I can play Takenuma and then replay a Layla. This is really bad. I'm gonna go ahead and take it. For the simple fact that we need to, like, draw into something. I don't think we're getting this, though. And if they have a bolt to get rid of the Vulcan Vampire, well, I'm sad. A timely duress to get rid of the Tail's End. Invasion of Gabacon's not what we need. Alright, so... I think we just play Takenuma. We're not dead, strictly speaking, but I don't like our chances either. Swords to Plowshares. I would love to use Invasion right here. The Swords to Plowshares on the Terror of the Peaks means that we would actually just need to pay mana for that. They go to their turn. They sacrifice Yawgmoth. Alright, if it's Emrakul. So here's a fun fact, right? If they cast Emrakul, and you feel like you have a turn to play through, use up your removal to get rid of your commander, and then send your commander to command zone, because otherwise they just take it, they leave it in exile forever. But obviously, they're not going to have to do any of that. They could just 13 to our face. %40 of your Brawl games go into you need a board wipe by turn 3 and 4. You know what? That's not wrong. That's not wrong, and that's why it's really important to play a lot of those low-to-the-ground sweepers, especially if you have red. Just make 40% of your deck board wipes, forehead. Okay. So we're up against Marina Vandrel, the Rooms deck. Or I guess they could, you know, play as Enchantress, but I feel like you want to play this as the Rooms commander, right? We'll keep the 7 here. And they lead off on the World Tree. Oh, that do be a World Tree. Okay. Well, we now have the option to go... Let's see. We want Surveil. We want Blue. We want... Archive. See if we can dig for more land. Swamp is perfect. Swamp is what I like. Swamp is what I crave. We've got Bind to Secrecy, which is essentially a negate. So if they try and, like, ramp on anything other than Dom, whenever one or more non-token... Okay, so that's an enchantment. Yep. Let's just go ahead and counter that for the tempo. Skrelv. Skrelv, you say? Well, I can't actually get Skrelv out this turn. What I can do is play Midnight Clock Pass. This is what? Turn up to one target creature? Okay. So this is an unsummon that turns into a Coastal Piracy. And then... it's only one or more creatures. Huh, okay. Yes, I will take a free land. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my tri-land, I think. Just because the color fixing is gonna be really helpful. Mana open. Let's play out... see, we always play Skrelv out here, right? Because we want to be able to protect Alayla. Play out Skrelv. We can also put out the Andorel. Alright, so here's Skrelv. Here's Andorel. Skrelv can now wield Andorel to make legendary put spirits into play tapped and attacking. Detention Sphere. Oh, wait, Detention Spear? That's on Arena? Well, okay then. Hey, you have a good day, Toll. You have a good day. Detention Sphere, though. I need to put that into a lane. That'd be pretty pog. They don't have any blue open, notably. And I can Void Rend on the Detention Sphere. Now, they could be sandbagging a Wrath. They don't have the colors for it, though. Unable to scream. Let's go ahead and surveil yet again. Unidentified hover ship. I think I like leaving that on top. And then... it's either 1 life or 2 life. Yeah, let's go ahead and pay the 2 life. Skrelv is now a toy. Cool. Alright. Detention Sphere, gone. Andorel on Alayla. Go to combat. Bottomless pool. Get fairy. Bounce to hand. Replay Skrelv. Get more fairy. Cry when they wipe my board next turn with a farewell. If they want to... oh, it's just Wrath of God, yeah. Yeah, we saw that coming. But, like... who could blame me? Play Alayla first. Play Esper Sentinel. Potentially unlock the locker room. 3, 4, 5, and then also Andorel? Unlock? Equip? I don't have anything else to do, so they remove Alayla, that's fine. Is this like the Wandering Emperor? Is this, Settle the Wreckage? Source the Plow? Okay. So, we do eat Alayla. Why didn't they do that before she attacked? Whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, draw a card. Alright, well, we can recast the Layla next turn, I guess. We still have the hover ship. Put all enchantment cards from the top 7 into your hand, the rest in the random order. So they get Ghostly Prison, Kami, and Ghostly Entryway. Whenever an enchantment you control enters or you unlock a room, draw a card. And if they hit a land off that draw, they get just put into play. That's pretty cool. The tracker might be worse here. Lock or unlock a door of target room you control. Put 2 counters on creatures. Yeah, I think we get rid of the tracker. Let's just go ahead and make sure we have... Oh, do we not? We don't. Okay. Hey, Chamil! Chamil's actually really good here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? I feel like we could Glyph Bridge to get rid of Marino, right? Right. Like, we have 8. I feel like I am willing to just go ahead and suit up the fairy, go to attacks. We get to draw another card. Hey, Funeral Room. That's pretty cool. Fog. Just get Jamil out and start casting more stuff. Hey, Invasion! Alright, so now we can go ahead and... Ooh. So Funeral Room would be bad. Awakening Hall... I don't think that does a whole lot. But they do get to start just, like, unlocking stuff because of her. The entryway doesn't matter. The Ghostly Prison eats up a lot of mana. I think we make the Ghostly Prison harder. Attacks you. Like, we could attack the Invasion of Gabakon pretty easily. They do get to draw a card off that. They get to make a Glimmer. They get to draw another card. I definitely was on the right track of getting rid of that tracker. Like, they've already gotten amazing value out of it. But also... 4, 5, 6, 7... We can pay to just, like, kill them. Like, I think they're just dead, right? Yeah, I think they're just fucking dead. That's 1, 2... Yeah, that's dead. Like, damn. You didn't do math, did you? You didn't do math. You didn't do anything that would actually make it so that way I couldn't just pay the tax and punch you in the face. Okay. I have to wonder how strong the rooms are gonna be. Like, using Marina to just, like, reload your hand to get a bunch of enchantments is really cool. Entity Tracker is really, really strong for Enchantress decks that get to play blue. So, Entity Tracker is actually a really good reason to want to play a Layla as an Enchantress deck. Sorry, someone's ding-dong dishing me. Alright, so we've got like 10 more minutes. Let's see. Is there like another deck that I want to play around with a little bit? I don't have any mythics, so I don't have the demon that I want to try out in Kalia, unfortunately. There's just like a bunch of stuff. Honestly, I'm okay with just playing a little bit more Alayla to end the stream. And then... Oh boy, I'm definitely going to have to use my next wild cards to try and get some of those other rooms. I feel like Alayla gets so much good stuff here. We get to be on the play. We're up against Omnath, Locust of the Royal. This is not what I would call a great hand, but apparently it's good enough to get the concession. Let's try to... Oh, Boosty Pack! Boosty Pack! We're like 2 packs away from getting a wild card. And we got... Mythic? We got a Mythic wild card! Hello! Hold on. Chat, what do we think is like the best... Oh my god, I actually just got him! I forgot that I must have pulled him from one of the rewards here. The Shrieker 2... Oh yeah, it must have been the Mastery Pass. I must have gotten him off the Mastery Pass. This is yoked. This is so yoked. Okay, so that's pretty pog. Let's take a look real quick to see if there's any Duskmorn mythics that I don't have, that I would like. Overlord is pretty cool. Oculus. Mirror Room. Meat Hook Massacre 2! The Massacring. The Meat Hooking. Charred Foyer is actually cool for, like, cloth this. Walk-in Closet might be the play, because you get to play lands from your graveyard here. Cast spells from your graveyard this turn. Like, that's really good. But if you want to look for worthwhile mythics to craft, go look at the special guests. Okay, so what do we have here? Not Soul Warden, Ghostly Prison, Hallow Haunting. Nope. Fabricate could be one. I could see crafting a Fabricate. I don't have Subtlety yet. I think Subtlety might be the weakest of the 5 pitch elementals. But it is still pitch elemental. There's Show and Tell. Sacrifice is spicy. Add black mana equal to the sacrifice creature's mana value. That is really tasty. I'm not spending a mythic on Tragic Slip. It's not worth it. Dismember might be worth it. Let's see. But I'm not hurting for, like, remove. Sylvan Tutor is a really good one. That's a tutor for creatures. Collected companies available in rare, so you don't need that. Notion Thief is another one I've actually been really, really excited to try and make, so I might grab this Notion Thief. But hey, Hog! We actually just got the demon that we wanted. Winter Misanthropic Guide. Okay. We've got Esper Sentinel to start with. That's not bad. Path to Exile, Meat Hook in case they go wide with Chrome Lantern. There's no, like, real long-term payoff, but I like how we interact. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws 2 cards. As long as there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, each opponent's max hand size is equal to 7 minus the number of those cards types. Okay. So... kind of rude. They're very likely to just lead off on a mana dork. So we can actually go turn 2 Verdant Catacombs. Or I guess Crossroads since we were the starting player. Pass the turn. I don't want to crack the Catacombs for anything less than a Surveil land. I think it's early enough in the game that if we just play out Taki Numa, then play out Lantern, get the hold up path. I don't trust Winter. I don't trust Winter at all. Like, the minimum is that Delirium is 4 card types, so our hand size is going to be reduced to 3? We have the Void Rend, we have Paths, we have plenty of removal. Domri! That's interesting. Domri pluses makes it so that way their creatures can't be countered.
The only authority that I recognize is K.
I might need to Void Rend him. Like, no joke. I think Domri actually proposes more of a problem than I would like to admit. So, Void Rend Domri now.
Any skirmish you can walk away.
I could hold up Path to Exile. I think that's what I want to do. I would love to be able to get the boots down so that way Alayla can be protected. I think I'm going to go ahead and cast the boots. Shields down. They can go ahead and cast Winter if they want. No, they're going Soul of Windgrace. That is interesting. That is very interesting. Okay. So how do we want to deal with this? Because this card can't just, like, ramp him out of control. I think we have to path Windgrace. And And I think I'm willing to play Birth of Melodus first. Grab a basic land. Play the basic land. Go ahead, boot up this Sentinel. And then pass. Because after this, what we're going to be doing is relying on Winter to draw us a card. Like, they presented 2 big threats. And I had to answer in kind, so we're hurting right now. Ooh, they're paying the tax. Okay, so Winter's not coming down this turn. Which means we do get a chance to play a Layla and then boot her up. A boot up sequence, if you will. Baleful Strix. That goes really nicely with a Layla. YOLO. Alright, time to equip her. Watch her die. No! She sticks the landing. Okay, what could they have? They could have endurance, right? Right. Let's just pass the turn. Endurance. They could also be playing Fury and Grief. But now we've got Strix. Anger of the Gods would do it. Alright, so they can go ahead, pay the 1. We lose all of our creatures. Except for the wall. I'm going to grab a Surveil land, because I want to make sure that whatever we grab next can help deal with it. Bitter Blossom is really good here. 2 life. Yep. Okay, so Winter's going to start drawing a lot of cards. I don't think I like that. Okay. Hand size is 2. So they will have to recast Winter. Mill 4 cards. Return a non-avatar creature or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. Annie! Ugh! That's disgusting. Yep, there's Domri. This is what we call Die Pinchy. Alright, there's Ornithopter. We are not hitting the land drops we need to keep a Layla going. Let's go ahead. We'll play the Strix. We get Bottomless Pool. Doesn't really help us out right this second. Devine's Reclamation doesn't hit enough. Okay. Well, they're going to be like that. We'll grab land that comes into play untapped. We've also got Reclamation here. We've got some options. Reclamation to get back the boots helps out. We've also got to try and get back the Catacombs. Domri can fight and fight and fight. Now we can Reclamation and get back to Strix. Yep, that's a problem. Oh, that's disgusting. This is disgusting. Oh, no. We're actually just going to get straight up valued out. We need to find a way to get rid of that Overlord. We can Bottomless Pool, I guess. Crocs just like has all the cards they need to eat. Reach the Multiverse. And now they can take, like, what? My Boromir? They can take my Strix. They can take Emrakul. They've also got Angrath. Yeah, alright, we're done. Oh, that was the Jundiest Jund deck that ever Jund. That was rough. Alright. Well, that's going to wrap up today's stream. We did just kind of have fun messing around and tuning some stuff up. Alayla's going to need a lot more tools before I get to revisit her, but we do have some cool stuff coming down. I am going to be working on the Atrata deck. I'm going to be showing off the Malcolm and the Pock decks here soon. Maybe even the updated Atraxa list. So we'll be catching you all next Monday. Remember that Friday we are going to be doing our monthly raft streams. This is the first Friday of the month.